All right, let's talk Python. You know exactly how it goes, right? You start with a simple little script, just a few lines. And then, before you know it, it's ballooned into this thing. Well, if that sounds familiar, you're in the right place. We're going to talk about how to bring some structure, some sanity to your Python projects.
I mean, let's be real, we've all been there. You pip install a package for one thing, then a different package for another, and pretty soon your main Python setup is just a complete and total tangled mess. Does that feeling of chaos sound about right? Yeah, I thought so.
So let's dive right into this. This chaos, it's not just a feeling you have. It is a real technical problem that can absolutely sabotage your projects and just eat up hours of your time. It's basically what happens when we treat our entire computer like one giant messy folder for every single project. Let's break down what these headaches actually look like in the wild. First, the big one, dependency conflicts. You know, Project A needs an old version of a library, but your shiny new Project B needs the latest and greatest. Well, guess what? They can't live together peacefully in the same space. Then there's system pollution, which is just a perfect name for it. Your main Python gets cluttered with all these packages you used once, maybe 6 months ago. This, of course, makes it a nightmare to share your code, which leads to huge reproducibility issues. And the final kicker? If you don't have admin rights on your machine, you might be totally locked out from installing the tools you need in the first place. Okay, I know that all sounds pretty awful, but here is the really good news. There is an incredibly simple, super elegant way to solve all of these problems, a way to keep every single project neat, tidy, and completely self-contained. And the solution is to give each project its own personal Python sandbox. Seriously, think of it just like that. A safe little play area where your project can have all of its own tools and its own toys without making a mess everywhere else. This concept, honestly, is one of the most important practices in modern Python development. This sandbox has an official name. It's called a virtual environment. And here's the key. It's not some crazy complex thing. It's really just a folder. But inside that special folder, you get an isolated, self-contained copy of a Python interpreter and its very own set of installed packages. It is a perfect, clean slate for every single project you start. And this just shows you the night and day difference, right? Your global environment is messy, it's shared, it's just asking for conflicts to happen. A virtual environment is the complete opposite. It's clean, isolated for each specific project, and totally conflict-free. This is how the pros do it. So we've set up our clean, isolated sandbox. Great. Now it's time to actually start building something. And to build anything in Python, you need to know the fundamental materials you have to work with, the basic data types. You know, every program you write, no matter how ridiculously complex it gets, is built from these basic pieces. You've got integers for your whole numbers, floats for your decimal numbers, strings for any kind of text, and booleans for a simple true or false. That's it. These are the atoms of your code. The absolute best way to think about these data types is as the Lego bricks for your code. You just take these simple, fundamental pieces and you combine them to build, well, anything you can possibly imagine, from a tiny script to a massive application. Now, here's the really cool part. Python doesn't just give you the bricks. It also gives you a fantastic toolkit right out of the box to work with them. This is called the standard library. And believe me, it is incredibly powerful. This quote here really gets to the heart of why the standard library is so crucial. I mean, you're not going to reinvent the wheel for common tasks, are you? Real-world programs have real-world needs, and Python comes prepared for that. For example, if your program needs to work with dates or time zones, you don't write that from scratch. No way. You just import and use the datetime module. It's the perfect tool for that specific job, and it's already waiting for you in your toolkit. And what about working with files and folders? Ugh. Instead of fumbling around with all those slashes and backslashes, you just use the pathlib module. It gives you this clean, modern way to handle file paths that works perfectly whether you're on Windows, Mac, or Linux. It's just another specialized tool ready to go. Okay, so we have the sandbox, we have the building blocks, and we have the toolkit. Let's put it all together into a simple, professional blueprint that you can use for every single project from now on. Here it is, your professional workflow. 4 simple steps. 1. Create your virtual environment, your sandbox, usually called VNV. 2. You activate it. You're basically stepping inside the sandbox. 3. Use pip to install any extra libraries you need. They'll be installed safely inside that VNV, not on your main system. And finally, step 4, you start building your amazing code. That's the whole workflow.
So remember this, with a clean, isolated environment for every project, you are free from the chaos of dependency conflicts and system pollution. You have a solid foundation. Your sandbox is ready. The only question left is, what are you going to build first?